Hello, I'm ThingyMcJig, and welcome to the second part of my two-part elevators series. Today, the first two elevators are proof of concept designs. They're not particularly finished, but the third one is a fully finished working multi-storey elevator. Now, this design works on the following concept. You can push. At the sides we have slime block lines, and we have pistons controlling them independently. So if I push the piston on the left and on the right individually and depower them at the same time, the block has moved one position forward. And if we do that again, it moves further. And we can do it the other way by powering them in the opposite order. So you can achieve this delay by using pistons in such a formation with redstone blocks, because they depower instantly but get powered again in delay. And for the other direction, we can have them like this. For this elevator, we have 3 levels of these piston lines, and they're alternating in orientation, so we have them like this and like that. And to get them all to power in time, we have a soul sand bubble elevator transmitter. So when this moves, an update will be sent to each of the observers, which will trigger the pistons. Now here we have a complex array of these NOR gates, which I will explain shortly. So we've got it to say down, and we need to press this button a few times, and that iron block will get moved. Now, to explain this, here is a NOR gate, which means that if exactly one of these levers, these redstone wires, is powered, there will be a signal sent through. But if both or neither are powered, nothing will get sent through. So I'll first explain how this is working. So if neither of these are powered, this redstone torch will be on, and the piston will be extended and cut the redstone wire so that these pulses will not get through. If we turn one of them on, the piston retracts, and as you saw, both of these redstone torches turn off, but that one's still on, so redstone power gets through. If we turn this one on, that one will, all 3 of the torches will be turned off, so no power gets through at all. So here we have 2 of these NOR latches put back to back, and one of the inputs has been merged to be powered by this lever. And here's a basic plan of the bottom layer, and then with the pistons added on, this should hopefully give you all the information you need. And then we have this lever for toggling up and down, and then we wire it up to the bubble columns. Now, of course, if you were going to use this to make a proper elevator design, you'd have to attach a redstone clock instead of this button, and it would have to stay powered for long enough for all of these processes to happen, and stay unpowered for all of the processes to happen as well. This one is very expensive. It requires a lot of observers, but the interesting thing about this is the only moving part is these two pistons, and they move up in a sort of caterpillar fashion, and they're controlled by towers of observers on the side. For going up, we have these towers which alternate from which side the pulse comes from, and we have an 8 observer type clock, and I haven't a clue how I worked out that this delay was the correct delay to use, but it seems to work. So I'll let the elevator go up to the top. And now, after a while, this will stop moving around. Okay, there. And if we pull this lever, it should start going down. And then we can get out at the bottom. So I forgot to show you that the top of this one has a two observer clock and a signal repeater, and this has observers going sideways all the way down. Now, if you want to put this into a proper design with multiple stories, you'll have to have a button panel on each floor and send a signal down or up, and you'd have to have a pulse extender at this end which would let the clock run for however long it takes for the flying machine to go up one floor. That elevator design is very complicated, but there is a much simpler use of this concept in a horizontal transporter. Here we can use repeaters, of course, because it's going sideways rather than up and down. And we have several RS NOR latches and things to decide which direction it's going in or whether it's stopped. And the nice thing about this design is, you can completely conceal all of the observers by sending pulses through blocks to the pistons. So you can have tunnels with these piston caterpillar devices where you don't see any of the redstone at all, apart from 2 of the pistons. And you could even cover the pistons up by sticking a block there, which will be pushed along. Now here we come to my final favourite design of the lot of all of these 6 that I've showcased so far. The adjustable height bubble elevator. So we have, basically, as a summary, we have these dispensers which will put out water and make the water reach up to a certain height, and a bubble column will be formed and you can exit on that level. So I'll show it in action. So here we go, it's been set to this floor and we can get out. Now I'll set it again up to the top. And there we go. And going down is a little slower. But it's still good fun. And when the elevator's at a certain floor, you can access that floor without having to bother pressing any extra buttons. Now I shall explain all of how this works. This is by far the most complicated design, but it is a completely finished working several story elevator. So if you want to build this yourself, this is how you do it. So we have these vertical transmission columns so that each button sends a pulse down to the bottom. This is done with the help of quasi-connectivity. If we didn't have that note block there, the update wouldn't get sent through. But by having this note block here, by the way, this would not work at all in Bedrock Edition. By having the note block there, it updates the piston below, and that allows pulses to get sent all the way through to the bottom. Now, at the bottom, we have these monostable circuits, which generate a 1-tick pulse, which is extended to 4 redstone ticks, and the signal strength here depends on which of these buttons was pressed, which of these monostables was triggered. So it will range from 15 down to about 9 or so if it's come from here. Now that signal strength is reduced slightly by these composters, and it is stored in this little device. So first a signal is sent to this, which will remove the signal strength from here. Then later the signal strength will be sent through and saved in here, the new signal strength. And then we have comparators which keep it the same, and we have a spiral of redstone going up with comparators to extend the pulse, and we have cauldrons and more comparators and subtraction mode to make sure that the pulse goes down by a strength of 1 each time it loops round. Now, this is by far the most strange part of the contraption. We have these sort of pulse block state change distributors, which because we have to power all of these observers, all of the dispensers in 4s, and we need to use observers so we get the toggling to work properly. And these observers detect block state changes. We have to distribute these block state changes over 4 blocks, so I've used a door and redstone lamps. There is a slight delay in the redstone lamps turning off, but that doesn't seem to matter. There are probably other ways of powering the suspensors. This is the design I happened to come up with when I made this elevator. So you should now know all you need to build this elevator in your own worlds. So I hope you found this video interesting. I certainly had lots and lots of fun putting all the designs together. But thanks for watching. Subscribe for more original redstone like this. If you really enjoyed this video, please do share it with others. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye!